Welcome to the Prep Pigskin Report podcast, hosted by Papa Pig himself, Paul Rudy.
Welcome to PPR Podcast number 19. Everybody knows Burt Grossman. My name is Paul, and in the hot seat middle, the cream to the sandwich, the vanilla, the Ruben on top, and Montell on bottom. They are collectively San Diego Friday Night Lights. Gentlemen, thank you for making a podcast appearance.
Thank you for having us.
We should mention, everybody, if you go to watch this on the Prep Picks Report YouTube page, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You can follow Burt on Instagram at Burt_Grossman. You can follow me at PPR Papa Pig. Ruben is San Diego Friday Night, or San Diego SDFNL Magazine. Montell, you're NBA Sports One. NBA Sports One. All right, so now that we got all that out of the way, gentlemen, I thought we were going to be talking about preparations for your All-Star football game, which was supposed to take place Thursday. What happened?
We got a player that I feel bad about, but he tested positive for COVID. One of the players that were participating in practices, he had positive results. The parents called me right away. It's kind of an odd situation. No one else in the family is tested positive, only for him. So following protocol, me and Ruben did our diligence, called a couple of colleges and high school. So we felt we needed to at least postpone the game at least a week to make sure no one else had symptoms, and then resume it back coming on the 27th for practice and the game on the 30th.
So one positive COVID test shuts the whole operation down.
Yeah,
unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, Rudy, but this is the world we live in now, man, and we can't chance it. Taking this COVID stuff, we got to take it serious. And, so many people are involved, not only our players, but our coaches and also our families. So we have to be safe.
Do you guys think, coming, everybody's going to be with family and gatherings and everything during Christmas or the holidays, and I noticed you guys want to have, negative tests to come back. Don't you think there's possibility that with another week and the holidays, there's going to be even more people test positive? Yeah,
well, it's a possibility. I mean, we live, like I said again, we live in this world that COVID positive comes, COVID positive goes, and it can happen this week, it can happen next week. It's unfortunate. I mean, look at NHL; they just paused their whole season because of COVID.
Well, yeah, but all right. Well, I get the difference being is the kids are at least susceptible to this. My concern is that the game doesn't happen now because, as Burt mentioned, I mean, you're just going to, with the holidays, you're going to, are we assuming these kids are testing every day?
No, we're going to let them go do hopefully a rapid test before they can come back and join on practice. And then maybe we'll do one more rapid test before they come. I think we're looking at more of the bigger picture. I mean, me and Ruben discussed it like yesterday in detail. It's not just about the players, them being susceptible. We're going to have, hundreds of fans there. And when they leave our game, they'll be going back to their families as well. So if one kid has it on our team and they pass it to somebody else and they pass it to their family, it's just something that we can't afford to have an epidemic breakout within our organization and within this game. I think we'll still have it. But now we're going to err on the cautionary tale. Make sure everybody has sanitizing their hands when they come back. Make sure guys are wearing their masks when they're not wearing their helmets. Kind of keep the mask around their neck. Keep the least contact until we have the game, and try to just at least minimize it. Instead of maximizing and having them there every day. So we're just really on the era of caution, and it's unfortunate, but that's kind of the way we have to be in order to do this. And I hope we set an example for other organizations.
Yeah, I was going to ask, do the other, like the Spanos game and the McCasey game, do they have the same COVID concerns or restrictions or?
I'm not sure. I'm not concerned. I'm not sure if they did or didn't. But we're looking out. We want to look out for our players and our kids. We've had to restructure everything from college coaches coming out to visit to like the stream thing to just even the refs. We have to lean on the era of caution more than the era of play. And it's unfortunate. I'm not trying to minimize anybody's opportunities or anything like that. We're actually the one that wants to really maximize them. So we just gotta just pivot and move with it and just kind of just give it a week. Make sure all the kids have symptoms, because if they don't have any symptoms, we're fine. Like you said, Paul, those are the least guys. Those are the ones that are pretty non-cautionary. They don't have it. But we had a kid that had a full outbreak. He had the chills. He was gone down. Parents took him to the hospital. The whole nine. I can have that weigh on my heart if that spread it around our team.
Fair enough.
Or any of our coaching staff.
And I don't disagree with the decision at all. I'm just thinking in a week it's going to maybe be even harder to do.
Well, my concern is if this is the date of the game, guys, because this is going to be our life going forward. Just like there's a flu season, there's now going to be a COVID season, and every December we're going to learn a new Greek letter because there's going to be a new variant, and my feeling is that we're trying to chase this elusive COVID-0 policy. It ain't going to happen. We have to learn how we're going to conduct ourselves with COVID as opposed to trying to terminate it. It's always going to be there. So your date in December is late December. That's going to be problematic for you going forward because I think we're going to be dealing with this every December.
Yeah, me and Ruben will sit down after this year because usually we have it a little bit earlier. Obviously, Christmas falls on an odd day, and so does New Year's falls on an odd day, being Friday, or being on Saturdays, which we typically usually have our games. We'll pivot and we'll meet after this year and kind of hopefully push the game either to have it earlier and work with the other organizations to kind of figure out a weekend that we can have it better, or we'll push it after December and after the New Year's and have it then. We'll discuss that. But right now, we're just focused on having these kids that we currently have this year to make sure they get out on the field and get an opportunity to showcase their talent. So we felt the 30th will be the best date for us to get it out there. They'll be around family. It could be even a higher risk. But I think if they're not susceptible, they have another test, we should be okay and should be able to get those 3 days in and get the game going.
And the positive thing, Rudy, if you look forward on it, is that the boys or the teams pretty much have 2 weeks off. So we've got time to work on that. And these kids have been put through a lot. I mean, even when they were sophomores and juniors, and they know how this COVID thing happens. And it's been a pretty positive feedback from not only the parents, but from the kids. I mean, we got about 2 or 3 guys that already dropped because they had to go out of town or whatever the case is. But, we're still going to move on. We're going to do our best to put the best game on. And unfortunately, it happened to us, but I can't speak for Spanos Bowl or Makasi Bowl. I don't know how they work theirs. But I will go back and I will say that I am in contact with them too. And that's why we scheduled our game at this time, because we didn't want it to interfere with their games.
Right. Well, and I know you guys all have know everyone, and enough of that. Did you guys see how many views we got on the Braxton Burmeister conversation about what started as a lark? Boy, did that catch fire! Over almost 4,000 views on Montell's.
And Montell was making the whole thing up.
Well,
he
didn't make it up.
He was making everything up.
Montell, you weren't making it up. You were riffing. You were saying, hey, wouldn't it be nice if a Silver Pigskin finalist came through the transfer portal and found his way to the Mesa? There's nothing made up about that. It's a possibility.
Why come I can't speak it into existence? Okay, how come Braxton Burmeister is a great quarterback? He has, I believe, 1-year eligibility. It would be nice for him to come home. His style of play fits really nice with what San Diego State does. It's like almost a perfect fit. They like that run style. Yeah, his style fits really, really well. So him coming back would give them an instant guy with the ACC competition, playing against guys in the SEC, playing in the Pac-12. For him to come down to the Mountain West, I think Braxton brings a lot to the table. He would instantly command the attention of the team. He's definitely a leader because he's been, the starting quarterback at Virginia Tech for 2 years. Him combined with Lucky Sutton, Keenan Christian, hopefully, can come as well to get some speed back. That combination of backs and those guys, all San Diego guys, along with the additions, Trey White on the defense. They already got Sawcroft on defense. I think it's a match made in heaven. For now, San Diego State did not only move from teetering with the top 20, being that Mountain West team, to elevate and say, you know what, we're coming in not only as a top 20, but we're looking to break into that top 15, top 10, and get us a mid-major bowl. I don't think they'll be playoff bound, but I do believe they could be in the mid-major bowl where they're playing on New Year's Day in the national crowd to elevate our city.
And that is the one thing. I mean, I think the last quarterback they had was Ryan Lindley, and that was a long time ago. I mean, that's been holding them back for so long, the whole program, just because, if you don't have a quarterback, then you can't go get in Olave because he don't want to come here because nobody's to throw the ball to him. He's not going to block every play. So you get a lot of these guys, that just leave town simply because there's no quarterback here. A lot of skilled players.
And that mid-major is important because it's a bowl game that affords you a couple more weeks of practice. playing these.
Well, it gives you that. I mean, let's just be honest, fellas. It's the money. The money's there.
Yeah.
I mean, you play in the mid-major bowl, you're going from not only getting $800,000 to $900,000 for your team, you're playing on national TV. You're getting $2 million to $3 million to bring back to the program. That gives us even more leverage to be able to build more facilities, to be able to keep the players that are locally attracted to our program. So I think I hope it's an opportunity for them, and they're looking at it. I mean, I don't know what hope them guys are going on in the backgrounds, but I mean, I hope that's an avenue they're looking at. I know they were really high on trying to get Christopher Brooks, who was at Cal, that transferred now over to Purdue. I just believe now this will be the next big guy in the portal that hopefully they can land and bring him home and just have a really successful season.
But those two guys that Montell just mentioned are really skilled players, and they even if they don't land over here with the Aztecs, they're going to get so many offers, man. Their talent's it's beyond, you know. So wherever they land, I mean, it's good for whatever team gets them.
Well, you guys brought up Keenan Kristen. What am I missing in that story? That kid was involved in an altercation on campus and gets suspended until May? Well, obviously there is a key piece of information that Keenan or somebody is not talking about, because, I mean, did you ever get in a fight on campus? Or,
Yeah.
I mean, how long did you get suspended for?
I went to a jury trial for a fight on campus and still didn't get suspended for the team.
Yeah.
Me and Saragusa got in a big fight, and we went through a week-long jury trial, everything, you know, judge, jury, everything, and we never got suspended. But I mean, it's different times. But is the kid's like dad a big booster or something, and he caused a big stink about it? Is what I heard.
Is that what?
That's what I'd heard. Yeah, the kid that he got in the altercation with, his dad was a booster or something, a big booster or something to do with that, and that's why it went so far. But it was so extreme with no arrests, no injuries, no really anything, it's like 2 years pretty much suspension.
Yeah, and to Keenan's credit, he wants to stay at SC, does he?
Well, he's in the portal now, so I think he's like, you know, my time at SC is done. Even though I think Lincoln Riley would have utilized him really, really well.
No, he's in the portal in the event that Riley won't take him back. That's what he's on record as saying. He went into the portal just to cover his bases because he didn't want to come out and find out in spring ball that SC would not let him back on the team, and so he wanted to have at least an alternative. I think
keep his options open.
Yeah.
You know what's funny to me, what's really weird, I was thinking about this the other day. Kenny Christian, and I hate to say this, he is an ideal fit for Chip Kelly at UCLA. Chip Kelly has always utilized those guys, those speed guys that can run around the edge, guys that can hit that corner really fast and go. It would be really ironic if he goes to USC's biggest rival, UCLA. And
now you're starting rumors again, like Braxton.
Yeah, here you go.
Go ahead.
But I'll tell you what, that has, because there's some, boy, he could go to them twice, could he not?
Yeah.
Or three times. How much eligibility does he have left? 2 years, right?
Yes, 3 years, I believe.
So he could do it 3 times if he wanted to. What?
Yes.
Boy, do you think LA media would pick up on that?
I think it would be. I mean, that's just a cringe kind of thing to do. I would love him to come home, but I mean, it almost makes sense. I mean, think what he did in Oregon and the offense he did in Oregon. Kenny Christian fits that style of play that he likes. That home run hitter in the backfield and plays the slot.
Get him in space.
Can you imagine him with Kyle Phillips and those guys and Irby and all those guys playing? I mean, I'm not saying it couldn't happen. I'm just saying it looks like that might be a pretty cool landing spot if that's an opportunity for him.
Well, I think you said it best. He will have options.
Yes.
Hey, do you guys, the All CIF team just came out. Any glaring mistakes on that? Do you guys think, missed players that should be on there or anything, or do you think it was pretty set? I mean, for me, I saw Savion was at wide receiver, and I know they do that a lot because you're such a great player. You have to get on there, and there's so many quarterbacks. Yeah. But that always bothers me when they just move guys around to get him on, and he should absolutely be on there. He's one of my favorite players, and I think from the Spanos game alone, he should have been all CIF wide receiver. But it's kind of weird to see that,
Why? Because he played quarterback all year?
Yeah, he played quarterback all year and never played receiver, and then made the all CIF team as receiver. And he would have anyway if he played receiver, but it was just weird to me to see that.
Well, he's so athletic, man. I mean, they could have put him down as an all CIF DB, and we'd still be okay with that. It's that's probably not really his primary position anyway as a quarterback. He's probably going to go play a wide receiver when he goes off to college.
Well, correct me correct me if I'm wrong, but the CIF, didn't they list like 5 quarterbacks, all first team?
Yeah.
Or 4?
So was a weird year
in your guys' view, who is the best quarterback in the county? If you had to play a game tomorrow and you could have the 2021 available athletes, who would you pick at quarterback?
Right now, me, who was red hot, Leatherwood from Scripps. He was red hot all the way through the playoffs to the state. The way he throws the ball, his vision, as tall as he is. Not saying he's the best quarterback out of all of them, because collectively, me personally, I love the kid from University City. I forgot his last name right now.
Samuel Cooper the fourth.
Yeah, Cooper.
The fourth.
Cooper is the best all-around athlete quarterback that we have right now that's coming in. But right now, if I was going to take a kid right now, Leatherwood was just hot.
If I'm going to take a kid, I'm going to take Carlsbad Zion. I mean, the kid's unbelievable, and we already know where he's going to end up. He's probably going to end up in a Pac-12, Pac-5. I mean, he's just something special, man.
Who's that, Ruben?
Zion. For
the kid for Carlsbad.
Yeah.
And I know who you're going to say.
Yeah, Dom Nankill.
Well, explain why.
Modern day. You saw him play. I just think
he's elusive.
I mean, he's elusive, but
and throws darts.
He's one of the. You want to answer for me? Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna drink a glass of water. You talk.
Thank you.
Okay.
I mean, I watched him play 3 or 4 times. I mean, he just, he never throws a bad throw to me. I really have rarely seen him throw a bad throw. He drops everything in there. He evades the rush. His timing. I mean, those guys in high school, their timing on routes and the quarterback is just something to watch. I think he's the best. I thought he was the best since early in the season, but I love Cooper too. I think what people forget about Cooper is, Dom comes out there, Sane comes out there, they play. Cooper goes at middle linebacker when it's defense time. So those guys are out there, they're looking at their iPads, they're watching film, and he's out there playing middle linebacker. And then he's out there on the kickoff return team, and he's on the kickoff team running down. So people forget that. So when all these guys get to talk to their coaches and get a breather and get an orange slice or whatever they have, Cooper's out there making tackles at middle linebacker. So I think that's what people forget about how good he is, because he still puts up the numbers while he's playing defense.
And the other big story, gentlemen, please share inside information if you have it. Why is Patrick Henry without a football coach at the moment?
I don't know what happened there. Maybe it's an internal issue. Maybe it's something has to do with the school. But man, he put up a good team with what he had. I mean, that was a really great team. He came out with some good. I mean, it was just perfect for that team. Perfect coaching.
He's like a lot of guys who are geniuses. Coach, we're talking about JT O'Sullivan. He's
I know you're talking.
Well, but for the viewers at home,
okay.
Like a lot of coaches who fall into that genius category, he's also a little quirky, and that rubs some people the wrong way, be it school administrators or CIF officials, that he can be a little, I don't know, what's the word?
I don't know.
Strict.
I don't know. You tell me.
Like a porcupine. He can be a little hard to handle.
Yeah.
I've never heard that about him.
Me personally, I love the way.
I like him too.
I love the way he put the team together. I'm glad he's kind of got a special character to himself. The way his demeanor and everything. I've had a great relationship with him. I think opportunity is probably part of the problem, as well. Not just internally. I think that maybe he sees maybe a different opportunity for himself and his family. Maybe they're coaching at another high school, or maybe even going to the collegiate level.
Yeah, so, he's the kind of guy that can go. He could probably coach at any level he wants to. I mean, is there a job in San Diego County that's bigger that he would care about, or do you think, being that he's an NFL guy, he's got his sights on playing?
You're trying to poke the pig, but I get you. I me personally.
He wants to know if he's going to Saints. That's what he wants to know.
Yeah,
go ahead, man. Say it.
Hey, come on.
I didn't say that. You said that.
You said porcupine. You're over there. Yeah, no, we know what you're saying. Go ahead.
Well,
is he going to St.
Right
Augustine's?
this guy's starting stuff right here. This guy.
Well, what are you talking about?
We all know where you're going with that.
As far as I know, the Saints' job is not open.
Well, maybe it will be.
It's rumors that he's the Saints job may possibly open. He's a candidate for that. I would assume he's a candidate for it. So. That would be great. The San Marcos job just got filled, so that's not an option.
Well, let's talk about that real quick. Because that's a smart hire. By hiring Tom Carroll, you might get another coach free of charge. A PPR analyst. Because you get absolutely. 2 Carrolls for the price of 1.
Yep, and Trexler's coming back to be the offensive coordinator for them. So I mean, San Marcos now is, they're rebuilding their program. They've been down since Trexler left. They haven't been as good. So now Trexler's going to join the staff as well. You got Carroll as the head coach. And I think you'll see them coming up. And I'm going to lay it down right now. That little kid, Nix, that receiver they got right there, that little kid is very dynamic. He is going to be something special to look for in that offense. So I'm excited to see what they do and how they come back next year. I think San Marcos will be a lot stronger having them out there.
Not to go back to JT again, but I was just thinking. I mean, when you resign right after the season, I mean, you kind of think that you have something else lined up, or you just don't want to coach anymore. So, I mean, I guess that's the question. It's like either you end the season, you're like, I'm done with this high school coach. I'm not coaching anymore. Period. I'm done. I'm just out. Or you have another job already set up or lined up.
You really got to love high school coaching because, let's face it, it's a lot more work than it is revenue generated. I mean, it's not no one's getting rich. These guys would be better off with a paper route.
For the hours.
For the hours put in. So I mean,
Rudy. I mean, and Burt and Montell. Even though we're not on a team, we follow high school football from August all the way to December, and it's really a lot. It takes a lot, and we're part of the football season, and we're all looking forward to the off season, and it will come back at it again. And I mean, good for those guys that go out there every day to coach these kids and make them better and try to make their teams better. Whether they're winning, whether they're losing, they're still out there and the kids still stick it out. Football is like a job on its own, man.
And?
Football is like a job on its own.
Yeah,
I like that.
And I mean, let's face it, there is no off season because you're spending the whole time trying to keep your players from going to
following another 7-on-7 coach.
Yeah, I mean, and the 7-on-7 deal you're trying. We're seeing Ruben's pup. Come on.
All right, hang on, let me get her.
Come on, bring. Is it Rosita? I can't remember.
Rosita, let me get her.
Montell looks like he's in the bathroom.
See, Sean, now my computer.
All right, hell no. I thought you were in the corner in like the drunk tank or something. I'm like, what is it, man? What happened? He get DUI last night?
No. I'm not in the toilet, man.
All right.
But when I have a book right now next to me, I'll be reading right now. All right. Magazine.
Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, Ruben. Oh, that's a good-looking dog.
That dog looks happy.
Well, all right. So, guys, what happens between now and next football season? Tell me one thing I don't know that's going to happen.
I think we might see a new coach at Saints.
I didn't know the job was open.
I didn't know the job was open.
Yeah, man.
I don't know.
Are you saying
it was open either? But I mean, the rumor is there might be a new job, so we may see a new coach. We may see a new coach at Saints. I'm not quite sure.
Do you think
we might see a new coach at Saints?
And do you think, so let's talk about Saints because they used to be the dominant program, and a lot of guys stopped going there or left there. I don't know, what Saints has to do to get, because Saints used to go and get anybody they wanted to pretty much around the city, either eighth grade or the youth or whatever, and that kind of stopped, and that's really hurt them. I don't know if they're going to modern day now, or Saints needs a 7-on-7 team. I don't know what it is, but what is the fix for Saints? Because you could look at them and see they don't have the talent that they had before, and you can see it on all levels, to be honest. I mean, it's not there anymore.
I think they're falling into that they fall into that trap of success, number one, and then you're falling into that trap, like you said. Other teams are coming up. You have Modern Day, who figured out the Da Vinci Code, hired Verlaine as a defense coordinator, who has Chief McCoskey as the 707 team, and he has a lot of influence in the community. Same thing with Cathedral. They have a lot of influence in the community with the Polynesian connection and the kids they bring in, very successful. Somehow Saints have not been able to mirror that, and I think they will. It's a copycat thing, right? All these guys go after the same kids. Now it's about what kind of package you can put together for them and have them be able to afford to go to St. Augustine's. I think it's going to be there. I mean, you just got to go out there and be diligent and go get it. What do you want? Do you want to start young, or do you want to basically deal with this free agency we have in high school and have a lot of kids transfer in? Which is a whole different topic we can talk about one other day.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I just think,
a coach like JT O'Sullivan is he an attractive target for transfers?
I say yes.
Yes.
Especially if you're a quarterback.
I would say absolutely.
Running back, receiver, anything. Yeah.
And anybody on the offensive side, you're attracted to go there. And we got to also think about it, guys. I mean, the talent we have in San Diego, we have so much untapped talent that we don't talk about. We don't talk about the guys that are on the forefront. We talk about, again, the Savions and the Luckies and all those. There's great running backs in Sweetwater. There's good running backs, solid running backs there. There's solid running backs and solid receivers all over the county that they can elevate if they get on a team like Saints and can just elevate, because those are the people that are going to get a lot of coverage and everything. So there's plenty of talent to go around and be able to compete and be able to be very competitive. Saints just has to attract it to their organization.
We're talking.
What I'm looking forward to is the Marjay team. I mean, they were loaded with juniors, and next year is seniors. I mean, John Joyner and his staff are doing an excellent job over there. Montell mentioned Verlaine. And just the staff is great, and they're going to be loaded next year. And we all discussed, I think we discussed it, like, are they going to be D2, D1? And unless somebody volunteers to drop D1, they're going to probably stay D2. And, hey, I know it's far away, but these guys are going to run the table again.
Well, ho. Before we do that, what about Cathedral as far as will they ever be bad again?
Well, this is the problem we talk about, not to go back to Saints and harp on Saints, but when you have 3 Catholic schools in town and 2 of them are state champs and one doesn't make the playoffs, I mean, Saints is like Notre Dame. I mean, they're alumni everywhere. I mean, they just love that school. That just doesn't sit with them. They can't have 3 Catholic schools and 2 of them are state champs and we didn't make the playoffs. That doesn't float there. So, again, I mean, not to go back to Saints again, I won't again, but that's just the thing that sticks out with me.
You keep saying you're not going to go back to him. You've gone back to him 3 times.
Maybe I'm a player for a job.
When was the last time Saints didn't make the playoffs?
I can't, not my tenure. I've been in town for 24 years.
But you guys got to understand, all teams go through this. Remember, we used to talk about the Helixes and Oceanside. That was it. Helix and Oceanside. What happened to Helix and Oceanside now? Helix has been able to kind of maintain it and creep their way back into it. Oceanside hasn't been able to. The amount of talent is shifting.
Because all their kids go to Cathedral.
Or they go to El Camino.
Or they all go to El Camino now. Or they're going down the hill to go to LCC or whatever. They're looking for different options than playing in Oceanside.
Yeah, but public schools can go through that because they're supposedly have to deal with their boundaries, but the private schools don't. So you can't go tell Saints you can't tell the guys at Cathedral, hey, we're gonna not make the playoffs for a few years. It's a down year. They don't stand for that.
If you can't afford, but if the talent you're attracting, you can't afford to go to school there, then what do?
Man, ain't nobody paying to go to. Come on, Montell. You are the drunk tank.
Somebody's got to pay.
Yeah, you're right.
Something.
They get jobs in the cafeteria and stuff.
Well, ho. We had Sean Doyle on here, and he would, if he was part of this conversation right now, he'd tell you you're all wet that they do not actively recruit athletes to Cathedral Catholic.
That's what Nick Saban says in Alabama too.
He's misguided or misinformed. Yes, they do.
So what are you saying? That he's not telling the truth?
This is what he's doing.
I'll have a conversation with Sean. He may not say that they're actively out there. They're saying, hey, kid, we're recruiting you and offering you a scholarship. But you can't tell me you're not. When you invite kids onto your campus, you're recruiting. When you tell them to come to a walkthrough, you're recruiting that
But
kid.
it has to do with the academic advantage. The football thing is secondary. They're getting a better education than they would.
No, they are not. I mean, that's another misconception.
I'll hold it. I'm going to tell you, if you're going to not tell me Cathedral Catholic does not offer better academic opportunities than several of the public schools here in San Diego County.
Oh, maybe several, but not all.
Well, most. I'll change several to most.
Okay, well, let's go with that. Paul. You're right. It's a better academic opportunity, but it's also a better opportunity to play in a sports program as well. It goes hand in hand.
It's like the movie Finding Forrester.
Yeah.
You've never seen the movie?
No.
The kid gets a better academic opportunity, and it just so happens he's also a good athlete.
It's not bad. I'll end this. I went to Catholic school, so there goes the end of better academic.
But you're an example of what was bad about that. You got recruited to play because
No, we didn't recruit at Muscle.
Yeah.
but that's the other thing. If you go to Philadelphia, we had, which was crazy to me here because we're such a big city, we had 3 Catholic schools. When I was in Philly, we had 15 Catholic high schools, and we just played each other like a Trinity League, just in Philadelphia. So there was recruiting, obviously, yeah.
All right, well, guys, I've kept you a lot longer than I intended to. Can I just tell you how much I enjoy talking to you both? You know,
thank you, Paul.
No, thank you. We like being on with you guys, man.
Yeah.
Especially,
Paul, the
especially
next question.
hey, Rudy, especially this guy right here, Burt. Where's he at, man? I'm trying to point at him right there. This guy
there he is. You got him.
The other way.
Man, he's getting on me, man. Quit taking my players. Quit doing this. Quit doing that.
Oh yeah, we don't have time for that.
He's
Montell.
talking about Cathedral, but he's over there recruiting too.
The two guys you told me I wanted that I said I had to have weren't there. I'm just saying. And then Montell, everybody comes in, I coach him for a day, and Montell takes him to his side.
I have to go back to my news job. I have things to do. Gentlemen.
We'll fight afterwards.
I say this in all sincerity. We're going to work you into the PPR in a way in 2022. I don't know how to do it yet, but that's going to be my off season. Your contribution during the week on the morning show is great, and I just learned so much, and I just like you guys. You guys are fun to hang out with, and let's keep it going, okay?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Because I'm looking to get rid of the dead weight over here.
I don't blame you. I'm getting recruited, so I don't care.
Where are you going?
It's very difficult working with him because he has the attention span of a squirrel. All right.
Hey, Paul, one last question, one last thing. And this is for everybody on your mind. Does Cathedral go to the Trinity League? That's what we should discuss next.
No. No.
They won't even go to the Avocado League, let alone the Trinity.
I think the Avocado League, but the Avocado League doesn't want him. See, that's the problem. They're too good for the league they're in, and they really have the gap between Cathedral and the rest of San Diego seems to be getting wider, not closer. And so to me, that's an issue that, well, what do you do?
Do you go to the Trinity League?
Well,
I mean, you really need to.
Well, Sean Doyle laughed at that when we brought it up.
I mean, you can laugh, but I mean, at this point, you're going to start running out of people to play, except the league that they put you in. And if you're dominating, it just doesn't work.
Or last question then. Does Lincoln play Cathedral next year?
Yes.
No, I don't think so.
Yes, I do.
I don't think so.
I think it's done. They made their statement already, and Lincoln has something to prove, and they'll play them next year.
I don't think so. I think Cathedral will be loaded. I think Lincoln wants to just kind of move on from it and do something different. And
how do you just move? It's a league game.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be a bigger penalty than for forfeiting games then. Because,
you're right.
I mean, if you forfeit a game, you should be, on grounds that aren't public safety. Like I know the one year they did it, they had 9 healthy players. I got that one, but this one was a little different.
Well, I mean, again, didn't you ask yourself, if Cathedral bounces out of that league and needs to go to some different league, or does Lincoln bounce out of that league? I mean, the alignment of the leagues need to be, to me, the alignment of the leagues need to be changed all in itself.
Yeah, I mean, at least Cathedral has to play, at least they have to play against kids their own size, which would be Avocado, at the bare minimum.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, gentlemen, again, this went a lot longer than I thought it was. I appreciate your time.